Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Exam. How far would you go to get the ultimate job?
Written and directed by Stuart Hazeldine, starring Nathalie Cox, Chukwudi Iwuji, Pollyanna McIntosh, Luke Mably, Jimi Mistry, and Colin Salmon. This movie's about 8 candidates that are applying for a corporate job, and they're put into a room. They're asked one question, but there's only one answer, and they need to figure out what the question is so that they can answer it. This is a recommendation from Shannon, Cool Fire Newt, over on Patreon. We like one location movies, and this isn't horror at all, but it is like a mystery, and I do like mysteries. I love a good old mystery. So, yeah, let's figure out who all these 8 people are and what they're up to. What do we like?
I think this film does a fantastic job with building its tension around the mystery. Because it's one location, you have that sense of slowly becoming stir crazy because you're stuck in this room with these people. You don't know what's going on. As the film progresses, you try and figure out, are they getting crazy or are they getting closer to the answer? And it builds strong tension.
These characters are put in there for 80 minutes, and what's nice is it's almost real time. We have a little intro and we have a little outro, but we're in there for the full 80 minutes. I enjoy the pacing of it because I cared about all of the characters. It's really fun to unravel people's pasts, what their occupations might be, why they all applied for this specific job, because maybe there's different intentions behind everybody. There's not a lot on the surface, but as you dig deeper, you discover more cool things and dickheadish behaviors.
Plus it's fun because you flip-flop back and forth with characters that you think you really like at the beginning of the film. They could either end up being a dick or you can end up continuously liking them throughout the whole movie. And I like that we had a variety of characters. Like each person had a different trait to them that either made you want to root for them or you're like, well, I hope they get eliminated because I don't like them at all because they're being a real D-bag. In particular, if I had to choose a favorite character, I really thought Brown was pretty cool. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was his look, his cool guy attitude. He had me as yeah, this guy is cool. I want to hang with him.
And that's not John being racist or anything, calling him Brown because he's brown. They just didn't use names, so they did use stereotypical the black guy's name is black, the white guy's name is white, the blonde girl's name is blonde, etc. I liked Black. He's just a nice, genuine guy.
He was really excited.
He's definitely into crosswords and puzzle games when he's not in this weird situation that he's in. Because yeah, he's just oh, what if we hold this up to a light? What if we do this with the lights? I really enjoy this stuff. And he has a lot, a wealth of information. It was a nice change of pace. I also enjoyed that they gave us the rules for this game right up front, because then as an audience, you can try and figure out what's the question, what is the answer, and what rules does everyone have to play with. You start to think about the few words that are spoken at the beginning and try and come to a conclusion as to where this possibly could go.
It makes it more entertaining because when they're about to do something in a situation, you're sitting there oh, if they do that, they're gonna get eliminated because the guy said that. And then moments later, it cuts to a flashback of what he just said. So it's kind of fun being did I remember exactly everything that he said? Will I be able to solve this puzzle? So it becomes very interactive.
And you're immediately validated too. We've said this before when we do game style movies. Well, in this one, it's wait, didn't he say this? And then flashback, yes, he did, which means I was right, I win, I move on to the next little round, so to speak.
Because it's a one location film, there's very limited things that they could do to make it interesting. When you start imagining ideas and then they start doing different things, it just makes the film a lot more fun.
But makes it much more difficult to come up with rating items, which we will have to deal with shortly. But before that, the dislikes. I kind of didn't like that this was real time, or at least I didn't like that they showed the clock as much as they did, because then I kind of knew how much of the movie was left. I really enjoyed what I was watching and how people were coming up with different ideas. But the fact that it continuously showed us the clock sometimes is good because there's this sense of urgency. But in this case, I didn't want to know. I just wanted to see how everything unfolded without knowing that it has to come to an end now.
I think one of the biggest dislikes I have of this film, it's not necessarily a big dislike, it's just the character interactions didn't feel genuine. There's a lot of times where they keep going on with, you can trust me, or let's all work together. And then immediately someone will backstab someone or they're a liar, but you're still stuck in that room And it's like, all right, you got me this time, but don't worry, we'll keep working together. I liked the characters just as a whole. It just felt a little too fake.
And I found that there would be a little feud between 2 or 3 people with a couple other people in the corners. They'd see these people fighting, not do anything about it, and then directly go and work with them. No, but you were in that corner. You watched this guy be a complete dickhead. Why are you even talking to him right now? Like, just isolate him out of the situation. And that would happen for many of the confrontations that you have in the room. It's like 2 or 3 people at one time, which makes sense because you would have too many people talking over each other just for film's sake. But in reality, there would be a lot more voices raised, I feel. Well, I did enjoy the movie. I think that the ending was a little bit lackluster. Halfway through, you can figure out what's going on, and it doesn't really matter. There's not like a big twist or anything at the end. It's just kind of, okay, yeah, that was fine. And I think it's still worth the investment of time, but it's just some people might expect it to go above and beyond what they might guess.
Yeah, you have this giant buildup, and then at the 80-minute mark, you're like, huh, so it was that.
Okay.
Yeah, expected a little more. If you are observant, you can guess the film about 40 minutes in, and yet you spend 40 minutes waiting to get that answer.
Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. This was an enjoyable movie because I do like one location films where you have a bunch of characters that you have to get to know, and you have to figure out who's the liar, who's the mole, what's going on in here. Mysteries are always fun. I did like the group of characters, although I did think some of their decisions were, maybe they leaned too hard in certain directions when trying to solve something. The acting was great though, so I did enjoy how the characters were portrayed because they're going back and forth with their emotions and them trusting or not trusting certain people. And the pacing was pretty solid too because it was just fun to interact with. I did have a little bit of an issue with the very end because I guessed it too early, and they didn't add any pizzazz to it. It was just like, here's the answer. Yep, you were right. See you later. But at the end of the day, it's still pretty reasonable for a one-location movie, so I'm gonna give this 3 shadow boxers out of 5.
This film was a pretty cool concept. I do like movies that are kind of based in real time, where you get to experience it as though our characters are experiencing it, which makes the film a little more interactive. As the time ticks on, you're more on the edge of your seat, and that's what makes this film fun. I found it more interactive by engaging with what they were doing and trying to solve the problems myself. With that being said, when you kind of did solve the problem and you got that answer, it wasn't as impactful as I hoped. I liked all of our characters. They did a really good job. The acting was great, but at the same time, it did come off as a little fake, and the way they interacted with each other didn't seem realistic for the situation. However, I would recommend this film. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 3.5 coin tosses out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, links are in the description. And if you want the opportunity to recommend a movie for us to review, check out the link to the Patreon, also in the description. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with everything Bloodbath and beyond.